if you're on the highway and it's going faster than your eye's frame rate, because your eye does have a set frame rate. It's not. It doesn't work the same as a monitor, but there's a certain amount of information that you can take in.
Right, but it's like, okay, that's not how that works.
Shut up.
It's like now you're trying to gaslight me.
Dude, I wish. I'm just stupid. Welcome back to another, I think the final chapter of Satisfactory. As you can see, I have completed every single tier. So Matt is still clueless as how to do any of uranium, but frankly he's useless on doing much except for building Costco's.
How many hours in are you now?
We are at 220 nearly.
Holy shit.
The last time you played, I think we were at about 100 hours. So we're like 9 days into the save.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, alright. Starting off is Matt's Costco. The Costco has not changed. There's a little bit that's changed, and I'll show you what it is as soon as this autosave is complete. And that is that I started to follow your method for building a centralized storage hub, and then quickly realized that I had no idea what I was doing. So I set up a very rudimentary version that I have not turned on yet.
Oh,
no respectable Costco.
God, clean up your shit, Thomas.
Sorry.
The second I fucking leave, the maid leaves, and it's dirty.
There used to be a large oil refinery right here, our very first oil setup. It's since moved out. It's gone because I wanted a cleaner view of the Costco.
Good.
So instead, we've just got the Microsoft 2.0 little building. It's been here as long as I can remember. Nothing's changed on it. I love it.
Next door.
We got the Costco gas.
Wow.
I love this build. It's also got a little.
This is great.
It's got a little truck in here.
Oh
Workshop
my
that's built into the
God.
wall. There's even lights in here.
Oh my God.
I love the Costco gas. There is actually this truck actually does use it as well.
Wow.
So
that truck is stuck.
Yeah, the trucks don't work great, but it's fine. I will say this is not finished. This is gameplay-wise. This is finished. This is a finished save in my brain. Next, we have the brand new oil refinery.
That was just you were hiding that. Wow, I didn't even realize I was there.
I built this right after they added the curved pieces and the ability to just the curved pieces, and they changed something else I can't remember in update 6. But yeah, in there we've got just a very nice, clean-looking oil refinery. And I want to have this same look as the top side all the way down. I just haven't gotten around to building it yet. We've got our classic steel mill. This is the first one that we set up. Nothing's really changed about this in a very long time. I honestly don't even know if it's running. I think the only thing that changed was when I redid the way that power works. I changed the entrance a little bit. Inside, very, very compact. I decided to give it sort of an airplane hangar look.
Yep, I remember.
I don't necessarily remember why I did that. I just thought it looked cool. And honestly, I like the way that this looks. It's very simple compared to everything else that's nearby.
Yep.
And I do have a project of something to go in here.
Oh my God. Holy shit.
We're going to have a little bit of a crossover episode. Next up, we've got one of the first... It was the redone version of the iron rod machine. This was one of my weirder designs.
Yeah.
Especially on this save. But I think it looks really clean. I think maybe my favorite part is if you go underneath it, is this amalgamation, which I saw for the first time in probably 200 hours earlier tonight, which just looks funny.
It's the most warehouse-looking warehouse.
Yeah, and it's right next to the Costco. I think this is maybe the most impressive thing I did on this save, because I'll occasionally look at the Reddit and I'll see people complain about power. Like YouTube, I saw something earlier today that's like my worst nightmare and is power problems. So what this allows is... Forgot he was there. What this basically allows is every major factory that we have has its complete separate power grid. So you can turn each of them off individually, and if you absolutely had to, you can only run the necessary things for the factory to run. So you'll see wires going everywhere.
Oh.
So something that you've seen clearly is the train system going overhead. This is an idea that Matt and I had when we very first started playing to follow a Chicago or New York style L-train system where it's above the road and this very complex, or not complex, but robust set of beams and things to hold it up. Back here we have the classics.
That's good.
Matt's gas. We still have a couple
Family
of very
owned.
stupid trucks that use it. You can also see it from the top side, passing it on a train of Matt's gas. Going back to the very first Costco building, we have Costco Wholesale Modular Frames. Top side is all storage, but the inside of the bottom floor is the first major factory that I built, the modular frame. Actually, no, it was not the first one. That was the second one. The first one was, of course, the screw factory, which took Matt roughly 50 hours to complete.
Yeah.
I think the video in which we describe how much power this used, I think it's chapter 5, and it's like 1,500 megawatts just in lights, not even counting the machine.
Yeah.
We also have our beloved Cybertruck here on display.
And the machine power was like 400 megawatts.
Yeah, it's pitiful compared to that.
I remember there's statistics in the next room. There you go.
Yeah, here we are. Produces 1,200 screws per minute, 600 on each side, 50 constructors total at 200 megawatts, 10 smelters at 40 each, or 40 total, 188 wall lights, 28 ceiling lights for 1,200 megawatts. And the total power consumption is 1,601. I will say, I have not been in here very often, but this feels the most like a factory, and I love this.
Yeah.
I'm also taking screenshots as we go, because it's something that I haven't gone around and done yet.
Oh, wait, no, go back. You missed the fucking diner.
Oh, yeah, what about the... Did you guys have the slug? The slug go round?
On the way out, grab a free sample as well.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Are there free slug samples?
No.
They're not, but they're free screws. My inventory's full, I can't grab any.
Oh my god.
We're getting into territory that Matt has not seen yet. So the first start is this parking
garage. What the fuck?
So this is just a parking garage. That's all it is, with the paint and all. And the reason that you need a parking garage is when you suddenly have high real estate apartment complex. This is a redux of all of our concrete.
Oh.
So, using the same supply as before, I think it generates probably like 5 times more concrete.
Love that curve.
Thank you. I'm very proud of this building. I'm surprised I got the like fix-it walls to work well.
Yeah. That is
so if you come inside, this is another nasty-looking splitter, but it does its job. All of which go up to the second floor, which I forget how to up here. 480 per minute for concrete, whereas previously I believe we were running roughly 150. Moving on, we have Circuit Plaza. They when I first built this, they had not added the ability to paint pillars to give it that red brick look that I always wanted to give it. So I've since redone that, added some tan, give it the 1920s firehouse vibes. For refinery is producing, I believe, plastic connecting to these to make circuits, which are then sent over to Microsoft 2.0. All right, next up we have the technically incomplete flat copper building, modeled not entirely intentionally after the flat iron building in New York City, giving a nice angled look as the trains go in to pick up copper and concrete materials and take it to centralized storage. Then down here we have a whole new modular frame factory. I believe it makes heavy modular frames, actually. 2 floors, again, not completed, but you get the idea of the design that I want to have on it later. Train comes through, picks up the materials, and then there's a loop around this rock. This has been here forever, but I'll show it since I'm over here. This is the copper that gets picked up for aluminum. The only thing that's changed is I doubled the amount of smelters. Previously there were only 4, now there are. Alright, I think the thing that's next is probably what's hardest to avoid is the Empire State Building, currently incomplete. This thing is a monster, and if I'm entirely honest, I have debated, and this is going to sound insane, I have debated redoing it to be slightly smaller in scale. That way it would appear to be taller and not quite as fat, because this thing is gigantic, and I can't afford to have it go as high as I initially thought I would. I think in order to tear this down, I would have to completely empty my inventory and then empty that several times before it was done. Yeah. So the front, the facade, and the side, I believe, are the most complete. The top and the back are, while the windows are built, the grid lines are not. Giving a great view of the Costco and really just everything in general.
Beautiful.
I have not come up here since I was working on this last. So one of the first major independent factories that I built was steel production, and that is now completely encased.
Wow.
Very snazzy, angular-looking building, also connected to quartz, which is not quite complete. From below you enter, got a nice glass floor looking down on the machinations, enabling this to work. Past here we go into the individual quadrants. I believe on this side is entirely dedicated to encased industrial beams, whereas this side is making stators, motors, and I think rotors are made here. Maybe they're just stored here. I can't quite remember. So the next thing that I have is one of my more recent projects is I completely redid the way that aluminum is set up. So the refinery line is still the same, and the line of foundries is still the same, and the secondary refineries that turn the alumina solution into aluminum scraps are still the same, except I have integrated all of it with 4 train stations instead of 2. I think there were 3 built, but I needed more than that, so now I have the train stations up top. And on top of that, advanced aluminum also runs through here like a cancer. Between all of this, they go down to the end of this line here, as well as another component that we'll talk about in just a second, making what I previously thought to be the hardest thing to make in the game, turbo motors. But it turns out when everything's a lot closer together than literally all the way across the map, it's not that hard to make. Initially, I built this top rail because I thought that trains would be able to use it to bypass it, because previously this is one of the most traveled piece of rail in the entire place, except for next to the modular frame factory. Now what it is it's access to the aluminum plant. So the 2 rightmost rails go in, the 2 leftmost rails come out, and everything allows you to get back on the right track in either direction. So this comes back out on the other side, and this is something that Matt has not seen at all.
Oh boy.
And I was keeping it a secret until he got back on, and that just never happened. So these rails come back down on either side, very similar to the other side. It's just a little bit shorter.
What the fuck have you done?
So I've got this big tower, which
Hold
is
on.
very corporate,
Hold
you know,
on.
very
I'm
classy.
fucking distracted by the fact that you destroyed my Taco Bell.
I'm rebuilding it. I'm making it more modern.
You
now.
son of a bitch.
I'm sorry. So this whole building produces, I actually changed it a little bit ago, but it should be producing quartz crystal, and now I think the top floor is making silica for another project. But the general idea is still the same. All of this making a cosmic amount of crystal quartz. Coming over to
Oh my god!
Radio Shack.
I should have saw it coming.
So Radio Shack, we have, I'm actually very impressed with the way this worked out. We have 5 machines, and I had to color code them so I knew what the hell I was talking about. We have 5 machines making crystal oscillators, so we have 5 of those per minute. This makes 5 computers per minute, all of which feed into a line of 4 of these that use, between them, 5 total per minute. Just ignore this mess, everything is working as intended. It'll be hidden, it'll be fine. Oh, but this side's a lot worse, though. Here's the mess. Honestly, this is not as bad as I remember. It's still disgusting, and it's absolutely despicable, and I am not proud of this, but it works. And then there's another layer of yucky, because as you know, you gave me the bright idea to run shit under the floor.
Yep.
So here we have conveyor land.
You know what? I can't be mad at that because that's exactly what it's for.
And then there's one specific area that I want you to see that's particularly yucky, and this is just because for some reason everything needed to go right here. Yeah, everything has to go through right here, and it's also in a spot where the underground is very shallow, so it just has to cross through. And there's a bunch of pipelines for aluminum that all go through. It was bad. The firehouse, which I think I showed you.
I don't remember it.
Okay, I thought I had taken pictures of it. So the reason that this is one of the other places that the plastic train stops at. This is also making circuits, and this is just another junction for this to go around. Just, you know, I don't really know why I started building this, but I think it looks really good. Maybe not as much at night when there's the light fog shining through, but I wanted to design it after a firehouse and even have a fire engine down here. As you noted, the Taco Bell is under renovations.
But why?
Listen, we can install another Taco Bell.
What happened to the fucking roof?
I haven't finished.
They took the roof.
They
took the roof.
It's not done yet. Next, we've got one of my favorite creations in the entire game. The thing that I'm more proud of, maybe even in the nuclear setup, the Coca-Cola factory.
Gotta get this.
Oh, I love this thing. It's such a great skyline to just look out and see. Gigantic corporate marketing. Got some beautiful lights on the outside that are having a very difficult time deciding if they want to load in. We've got the Coca-Cola bottle here on the outside. Still very happy with the way this turned out, all things considered.
Yep.
Coca-Cola power
That's very
plant.
good.
The main entrance, again, hasn't really changed much, except for the elevator, which I have installed. So finally, there's an easy way to get to different floors, all of which are marked. If you go up to the manager's office, you get a great view
Oh my god.
of my desk.
God. Oh, that's great.
And you can look out. If it weren't so gosh darn dark, you could look out over the beautiful skyline that I have created.
Wow. We.
Well, you tell.
Mostly me.
Oh, we forgot about the Coca-Cola plant.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, I haven't been over there in so long, I kind of forgot that it existed. I gotta say, I built it right, because it's been working this whole time.
God damn.
Coca-Cola plant don't run on miracles.
Runs on Coca-Cola.
So yeah, coming out here, that we have this little bitty factory that for the longest time now has turned coal and sulfur into compacted coal, which is needed in the process of making turbo fuel. This is what transfers all of our turbo fuel. And this is what I called the fishbowl. I still love this. It's super unnecessary, but it's just a very cool aesthetic thing for me. If I remember the stats correctly, there are 30 refineries turning crude oil into plastic. So we have 3 main lines of them, and then taking the heavy oil residue, and turning that into turbo fuel for the Coca-Cola plant. So yeah, not a whole lot to look at. I think it's very impressive, especially the way that the train line runs between the refineries. I've just always liked.
I fucking love it.
Thank you.
It's great.
I'm very proud of this. I've been thinking about my old game save. I don't even think I've played it since Update 6 came out. I don't know if I will.
Yeah.
This is home now. I don't think this is a mega factory.
No.
Because if it were a mega factory, it would be like the whole thing is inside the Empire State Building. Which I think would be really cool, but it's just not feasible. Did you guys see that planet phase out of existence just then?
Oh, there he goes. And that's why you always watch where you're fucking going.
Shut up.
Keep your eyes on the road, dumbass.
I had to install this whole big building. This is making, if I remember correctly, copper sheets and iron... Oh, this is my basic iron factory making iron plates and rods for the Costco storage, as well as copper sheets because I needed them for another factory. Lord knows I can't remember what. I think they go to the circuit factory in there. Microsoft. So Microsoft has gotten a bit of a facelift in that there's now a gigantic pipeline coming out of it. Oh yeah, this is also Miles from back when he joined. He's just sitting here. I thought about removing him, but honestly, I think I'm gonna put a road mark around him so that no one hits him.
He joined in. He popped in at like hour 90.
It would, yeah. So he's been sitting on the floor here for like
a long
6
time.
days. So this is modeled after an actual real-life Microsoft office. I don't know where that real location is, but it exists. So funny story, in editing, I had to look up where it was. Turns out it's in Poland because everything with Matt Knight comes full circle to Poland. Inside is just as disgusting as when I built it. I promised that I would fix it. I have not. This sucks. I won't lie, this sucks. I have no idea where anything goes, but it works. There are train stations. I'm still confused on what gets put into what train station, but like I said, as long as it works. The source of the gigantic pipeline, which all those water extractors. So you can even see the remnants of the train line that used to take up the train was simply just too inconsistent. So I've instead opted for the consistency of pipeline. This bad boy runs 16 Mark I pipelines literally the entire way across our city. Because I decided to build the nuclear facility about as far away from a water source as I could think of. Oh hey, and here's you.
Where? Oh my god.
Because I think the last time you played, you were helping me build this.
Yeah.
So you haven't seen this completed yet. Runs under the tracks here. Goes back up over another factory. Really, I had a name in mind for this, and I couldn't quite commit to it. I was thinking the Great Python or something like that. Because in my other game save, the massive nuclear facility I built, I named Project Goliath. Because it had 64 nuclear generators. This feels like it should have a similar scale in name, because this is massive.
Damn.
So I don't know if you have a suggestion for a name, but for now I'm thinking Great Python.
The snake.
The snake. Great big snake. Yeah, it is gigantic. So it runs
The
under
line.
this. The line.
No, it was bad. Anyway.
So it runs between all of this. It runs all the way under, and I've even thought at one point I think I'm going to continue this cylinder down into the sand. Just have a really interesting looking thing. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with this yet, because I don't like that it floats. I'm going to fix that. All of this, I did finish the back of the Costco, as you can see, and I even added, it's currently hidden from you, I even added a loading dock.
Oh my god!
So I added this literally this afternoon, so this is by no means complete, but eventually I want to have this connect somewhere on the main train line. The Great Snake continues down all the way over to our nuclear facility, which is where we're going next.
So the little shack is adorable.
Where'd he go? Oh, I'm very happy with the way this looks. I've lost the Cybertruck again. Where did it go? Oh, did it fucking start driving away because it had fuel again?
Yeah, it did.
Where the shit did it go?
Definitely fucking did.
Damn it!
It's so far gone.
How did it get so far? I was like an unsupervised child.
It's like that cartoon. Pew!
Like, you can't do that to the old man. You gotta let him wander.
He's like,
It's like
"Hey,
a
if I turn
grandpa
this
with
path on-"
Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
He doesn't. He doesn't know where he's going. He just has he just remembers his past.
Time to go to Costco. You remember that discovery I made over the summer?
Wait, don't turn it on. I want to see him wander. You gotta see how fast. We just gotta see how far he can get.
Oh my god.
Come on, give him
No,
a
I just
fighting
realized
chance.
what Thomas is gonna fucking do.
Don't need that anymore.
Yeah.
You can do that?
How many
Yes.
can it stack?
And you want to know, Matt? Do you mind pulling up the Satisfactory wiki and seeing how long it runs for?
It runs for 2 hours, 46 minutes, and 40 seconds per fuel rod.
That's actually not that long.
Oh! Okay, I think I found out how it got that far.
What the fuck did you do?
More drive engaged.
Dude.
And then we killed that. It really went pew.
Okay, you clip that, right? You got that clip?
Plutonium fuel, baby.
Okay, so how...
Here we have the great nuclear facility. I absolutely love this thing, mostly just because of how compact it ended up turning out. So down here we have a little bitty warehouse, not super important. But here we have what I have decided to call the Pink Floyd Memorial Steel Factory. It's modeled vaguely after the album art factory from their album Animals. I still love this factory. It just
It looks great.
It looks great. It's very aesthetically pleasing. It looks like a real factory, and there's still like a decent amount of space inside. Now on the sides, I've added a couple things, so it's not quite as clean on the inside on the sides anymore. But like, good lord, what are you even looking at, right? But the inside of this,
so many windows, and yet you can't see how much of a mess it is inside.
yeah, the inside of this is overall very clean. So from here, all of this mass pool of resources goes together this line of blenders, making encased uranium cells. The Great Snake passes right through here. All the materials come under here and make the nuclear fuel, which I've actually got quite a lot of in a couple of them, but then other ones, not so much. I don't know why that is. Oh no, I do know why that is. It's because I found out today that when I first built the Great Snake, one of the pipes to one of the reactors I just never connected. So it's just not ran for like 150 hours. Yeah, the Great Snake slowly dissolves into these big buffers, which then get pumped up into a line of 16 nuclear generators, producing, if I remember the number correctly, like 40,000 megawatts. Yeah, because with the Coca-Cola factory, we were at about 50,000. We were only consuming about 20,000, so I don't think we'll need to worry about power for a very long time. Inside the dome, you may notice our radiation levels spiking quite a lot.
This is what this is.
And go into this entrance. High radiation, nuclear waste storage. Hazmat protection, highly recommended. So if you come down here, you are in the danger zone. Down here, I forget exactly how many I have, but I have a large quantity of storage bins. Eventually what I plan to do is I want to empty this out again. So I want to take the outputs from here, connect them back to the main conveyor belt, completely drain this of all the nuclear waste, because I believe, yeah, this is
you
all
should
full.
probably you have 5 filters left.
I'll be fine.
I don't want you ending up in a situation like before where you died and you couldn't get back.
You can't even walk over this area without being highly radiated.
God damn.
Now, instead, as I've just completed tonight, our uranium waste is taken on a great voyage over here and sorted between this line, I should say it when they're in view, it's sorted between this line of blenders and 2 particle accelerators. I absolutely love this game. I want every reason to continue playing it. So yeah, there will definitely be an update, and I think that update will probably be at the point where this game save just doesn't load anymore.
You know, I just realized we first started playing this save
In
when,
July?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
in July, and now
Oh.
I'm halfway through my first semester in college.
Yes, for context, today's date is, we started the save on July 1st of 2022. It is currently October 26th. So it has been almost 4 months. Which is also insane, because like I think Chapter 5, which is the most recent one that I've made, Chapter 5 is like 2 weeks
2
in.
months, literally 200 hours in. We don't know what to fucking name it.
I mean, it's Costco City, really.
yeah, Costco HQ.
Yeah.
I don't know. Costco is interplanetary now.
Costco Interplanetary Wholesale.
Yeah, taking franchise to a whole new level.
Yep. But anyways, I gotta end this recording at some point. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any ideas, let me know, because I am going to continue expanding this city